Okay, today I am trying to hook up the ECU. So basically, old one's out, and then you just plug this big box in here, and there's a bolt that keeps it in there. And then there's 3 plugs on one end of the harness that goes on there, and then the one with 2 of them goes onto the ECU itself, which is in that box. Before I hook all that up, I'm trying to wire everything up that I need. And what I actually found here is these aren't actually cut, it's just somebody used what are they? Well, they use those red connectors that cut the wire instead of, oh, here's one. They use these things on there, and as you can see, like, it's not focusing. Anywho, it's somewhat corroded in there. This one not so much, but the other one. So these are no good, and there's 4 wires coming off of the harness, and I had no clue what they were for. They weren't even connected to anything. Wires were wide open. So whoever was doing anything before did a poor job of that. And they had a wire going from this side to that side, so I had to plug. Good thing they had them backwards so they could plug them in here and keep it good. So I just put some tape over here. So basically, for this part, you got the 3 ECU connectors. There's jumpers in between them that you change, and you pretty much look for what engine you have and you jump those 2 together. So now I'm just going to try and hook up the air temp sensor for the volumetric efficiency tuning stuff. So basically I gotta mount it in between here somewhere. Well, they pretty much tell you to put it anywhere after the turbo and the intercooler, so along here. But the best bet is right before the throttle body, so then you got the most flow of air. Alright, so I got the MAF sensor put in. I didn't have exactly a M14 by 1.5, but I managed. Okay, so I got the temperature sensor mounted in there. I got the wires in there, and just have it run down into here. There's a little hole there. I'm just gonna zip tie it up here and possibly up here as well, just so it doesn't touch the exhaust down there, because I don't want it to melt. And so I found where the pin goes for the signal wire, but I want to see if I can find a pin to put in the ground, so it looks a lot cleaner instead of splicing into an existing ground already. So next is my vacuum line that I got to hook up to the ECU. I might have to get a longer one, of course. I still want to figure out what this is for and if I can use that. Because the weird thing is it goes to the fuel pressure regulator. So if anybody knows what that is, you know, put it in the comments, because I'd like to know. But this is the boost pressure solenoid, I guess what you call it, or map sensor. So I gotta pop that off and put it on the Haltech one because it won't be using this.
Alright, this is a couple days later. As I told you before, the battery was shot, so I got a new battery in here, and it should hopefully start up. This might cause an issue though. It's cracked, but I'll put that clamp back on there and hopefully it seals. Other than that, everything else seems fine. I'm still a little worried about this piece here though. As long as no air is going out there. I mean, it's weird that it's on the fuel pressure regulator, but you know, as long as it works, then it works, right? So, like I said, there's the air temp sensor I installed. That's all good to go. It's wired into the ECU, and here outlined the boost pressure stuff. It goes to the map sensor on the ECU. So I got this thinner flexible tube for this part because that fits nicely on there, and then it converges to a thicker one with this adapter on both sides. Actually, not just on this side, and then the other side is a bigger, I guess you call it a nipple, like this here, and it fits perfectly on the Haltech ECU. So just to update a little bit what's all in here, we got the split fired coil packs. This is a harness off a GTR because the other one I had the connections, or like everything was so brittle. So, and I bought all this stuff in one pack, like the coil packs, the igniter box, which is also off a GTR, the harness. Spark plugs came with it too. They were NGK iridiums, so they should be pretty good for spark, and everything's running. Might need a new belt though, because this one moved over, but I mean, it's still fairly strong. It's gonna work fine for now. Just want to get it running, get it on the road. But yeah, I'm just gonna check all the connections and make sure everything's good, and then we'll hook it up. Okay, I'm just checking over everything again. I had a full base map set up, but then up here it said Elite 2000, so I had to change that, and now I gotta start all over again. But like before, everything else is pretty much already set. I just gotta make sure everything is correct. And main is good. Trigger. Looks good. Hall effect, rising. So I'm not sure what that is, but it's supposed to be correct. I'm gonna start with disable injectors just to see if it turns over. Stages 1, stages all different. Oh, we'll put the map correction on. Alright, that's good. And ignition low type, we'll leave it on map sensor. Fire. Edge is falling. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. I'll figure out later. Alright then, functions. I gotta turn on the air temp sensor because I have that in there already. Everything else should be good. Oh yeah, calibration. Yeah, that's good. So she is ready. Alright. A little nervous because I don't want this ECU to fry either. So, car's got power. ECU has lit up to a blue. Sorry, my hand's getting in the way. Just kind of tighten here. It's raining outside too, so I got the door closed, otherwise I'd have more room. So, let's say we connect. Do you want to save changes? Yes, please. Ooh, and we are connected. Loading. Now this is my first time doing all this, so I guess you're kind of following my learning experience in tuning and this Haltech ECU.